All right, this is going to be the syllabus overview part two. Part two is just going to be finishing up the rest of the slides, so we'll go ahead and get started. When I have a sub, if I've got to be out a day, I need you to act better with the sub than you would with me here. You are a reflection on me. So if you act, just wild, crazy, you don't listen, you don't respect authority, that tells the sub that my teaching style and that I don't have any of those things whenever I'm in class, and I don't need you to reflect poorly on me. So I need you to respect the sub better than you would when I'm here, because if I am here, I can call you down, right? I can issue discipline. Subs, they don't know you. They're just trying to make it through their day. So make it easy. Make it easy on them. At the very least, just exist and don't give them any problems. I would love for you to work harder than when I'm here, because if you don't, now whenever I get back, if I get a bad report, in certain classes, they don't really have a carrot or a reward to give you. I call it the carrot and the stick, right? The carrot is the reward, the stick is the punishment. They don't have any reward to give you. Like in let's say, I'm just no offense to English teachers, right? But if an English teacher says that they're going to punish, like most of you don't like English already, especially if you're in my class. If they say I'm going to give you more English, right? You're already there, right? I actually have something that you want to go do, which is the shop, which is going outside, which is getting hands on, right? And so I can withhold that, and it's actually, it bothers you. We can do bookwork in here, which none of you want to do anyways, all right? So I do expect you to work the entire time. Don't give up. And if you decide not to do it, right, you cannot make it up. Dressing out. You're going to need to dress out. Dressing out my class, especially closed-toed shoes. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure you've got tennis shoes, boots, something that closes your toe, Crocs that covers your toes. So you need closed-toed shoes. You can't have flip-flops or sandals. You need working clothes. If you've got to dress up, let's say you've got to dress up for sports or ROTC or whatever it is, basketball. I know the guys wear shirts and ties for OTC. Used to dress up on Wednesday. So I need you to bring clothes that you can actually get dirty in, and if you can, then it's going to be off of your performance grade. Your performance grade, I forgot to tell you, it's 20 points a day. So 20 points a day times 5 days a week. Obviously, you're not going to be here 5 days a week, so I'm probably going to have to adjust that, but you see how that goes. You're going to need your own tape measure. When we're in the shop, bring your tape measure. The reason I make you bring your own is because you guys break them faster than I can replace them. Right? You want to pull them out and let them retract in, and it breaks the ends off of them. You guys want to see how far out you can take them and let them bend over. I've just all kinds of crazy stuff with tape. If we're going outside, once at the beginning of the year, you're not going to have this problem. But if we're going outside, you're going to need to bring some warm clothes once it gets into November, December, January, February. So you want to have coat, and we will go outside. We'll go to Habitat when it's cold outside. So just make sure to bring warm clothes. The cell phones. These are obviously everybody's got one. Don't have them out in class or the shop. If you get them out for a half second, to check the time or something like that, honestly, you should just go ahead and buy your watch. I've got one on here. It's from Walmart. It's cheap. And if you pull it out for half a second, it's not the end of the world. If you're constantly on your phone, and if you're sitting in your chair and you're looking down at your lap the whole time, this is a great indicator that you're probably not paying attention. Don't tell me that you're talking to your mom. Your mom's not supposed to call you at school. Now, if it's an emergency, it's probably not going to matter anyways, because you're just going to get up and leave anyways. If you need to make a phone call, and it's important, not just a regular, hey, how are you kind of phone call, but if you need to make an emergency phone call, I can let you step outside and you can go make your phone call real quick. But just don't let it be a distraction in class. Don't tell me that you're checking the time. Look at your watch. Consequences. The first time I'm going to tell you to put it up, right? And to put it up means permanently. That means not one time, but don't get it back out. Second, I want to take it from you for the remainder of the day, all right? And I'll give it back to you at the end of class. And then thirdly, we're going to take it for the remainder of the school day. and I'll probably end up going and giving it to somebody at the office, and I'll let them pick it up. If you refuse to give it to me, we can call admin or Mike Millsaps up to deal with you. Absence policy. I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming that this is right out of the student handbook, so I'm assuming we're still going to be checking attendance. You can miss up to 8 days, so you can miss 8 days. You cannot miss 9 days. All right. Now, if you miss more than 8 days, which would be 9, all right, you cannot miss 9 days. You will have to make at least a C on the exam and pass the class. And I'm going to read this. The school board policy is right here. Students missing 9 or more days in a semester-long class will not receive credit for the course unless the student makes a 70 or higher on the EOC, NCFE, or CTE state assessment, and or the teacher makes and earns a passing grade of 60 for the course. All right, which is pretty much what I've got up there. Equipment, shop equipment. Just take care of the equipment. Don't throw it down on the floor. Don't throw it in the mud. These are expensive tools that we've got. And if you break it, this means intentionally, you have to pay for it. I can put it on your senior fees, and they get it from you before you graduate. My office, which I'm in right now. I don't know if you can look around. There is a toolbox, my computer, shelves. Don't go to my office unless I tell you to do so, which more than likely I won't. I like my stuff. You like your stuff. If you came in one day and I was rifling through your book bag, you would probably wonder what's up, right? I shouldn't be doing that. Neither should you be in my stuff. All right? So don't go to my office for any reason without permission. All right, leaving for the lunch or the end of class. Leaving. This isn't probably going to be a problem this year because you're going to be eating lunch in class. But if you leave early, right, for the end of class, you cannot leave until the bell rings. The bell releases you. I'm not going to let you leave early. I don't care if every other teacher's kids are out in the hallway. I don't care if your watch or your phone says it's time to leave. Whatever the reason is, whatever excuse you can come up with for leaving early, the bell lets you out of class. That's it. Okay? So I don't care if all the other teachers are letting their students go. And if you do, there will be consequences. I'll let you spend the next day in the classroom while everybody else goes to the shop. All right, so we're not going to congregate out in the hallway. We're going to hang out right here in my classroom, just right inside the door. All right, fire drills. For the fire drill, there is an exit door right over here. That goes out to the bus parking lot. I believe we go to number, it's either 8 or 9 on the fence. I don't remember which one, but I will tell you in class whenever you get to class. But there are numbers you'll line up on the fence. I'll take roll. So you'll go out those doors for a fire drill. There's a fence right out here behind the buses with numbers on it, and we'll line up it's either 8 or 9. Lockdown. Lockdown is a big one. And I'll probably have to go over this more in class, but just so if they come over and say that we're in a code in just means I lock the doors, we keep teaching. We go over a code down, different ball game. We lock the doors, we hide out, and we get ready for an intruder. And I will show you what that looks like in my class because every class is a little bit different. So once you get here, we'll make sure to go over the lockdown procedures. Tornado drill, same deal. We're going to head into my tool room in there. So everybody piles in the tool room, and we sit there and wait for either a tornado or nothing to happen. Hopefully nothing. But we get in there and hunker down. And your grade, all right, your grade ultimately depends on a few things. The amount of effort you're putting. Teachers want to see effort. This goes for my class. This goes for PE, this goes for math, this goes for English, this goes for any of your CTE courses, any of your elective courses, that they want to see effort, right? Any teacher can deal with a lack of skill or lack of intelligence, but we want to see effort. We want to help you out. We don't want you to fail, right? So what we're looking for is for you to come in and try. Don't give up, right? So that is a big, big deal to me, is making sure. I will even take, I've told students, averaging out your grades. A 40 is better than a 0. I'll take a 40. Because if you add up enough 40s with some of your other grades, it's not going to drag you down. Zeros really drag down your grade. So put forth any sort of it. Turn it in. I don't care what kind of grade you make. All right. Put forth effort. And at least putting forth an effort, and even if you make a 40, a 50, a 30, it lets me know you tried, you attempted something. A 0 tells me that you were too lazy to do anything. Right. Your ability to follow directions. One of the things school does is not only to teach you the information, but to prepare you for life after high school. You got to be able to follow directions. Your employer, your mom, your dad, anywhere you go, you're going to have to follow directions. I want to know that you can do the same thing, right? So school is a test of your ability to follow directions, and can you do them the way that we ask you to do things and not your own way, right? And your overall attitude and respectfulness. I mean, you wouldn't think that that plays into your grade, but it's going to play into your performance grade. And just, to let you in on a little secret, how you treat your teacher matters. I will treat you with respect as long as you treat me the same way, right? And you kind of get the respect that you show towards other people. So treat me well, I will treat you well, and it will reflect in your grade. Some grades are objective and some are subjective, right? I always like to tell my kids this, in your English paper, your English teacher grades, they're going to grade grammar, which is objective. They're going to grade spelling, which is objective, but then they're going to give you an overall subjective grade of content. And you can almost be assured, I don't want to speak for the English teachers, that how you are as a student in class matters to what kind of content grade they give you, right? So just be nice, be respectful, and we should have a great year. This schedule here is the old schedule. Obviously, COVID-19 is here, so none of that's really going to apply. I will tell you what lunch, entry, exit, all of that will look like whenever you get in here on Monday or Thursday. Same deal with these schedules. And your attitude. Your attitude determines a lot. You cannot change sometimes the circumstances that you have. So, some of us are more privileged than others. Some of us were born into different lives than others. But you can change how you go about life. Are you grateful? Do you have a grateful attitude? Right? You can either choose to enjoy this class or hate it. So, in personal experience, I would choose to enjoy it because, you're going to go through high school one time, and you might as well enjoy the classes that you take. But the attitude that you bring to class every day is going to be a big factor in whether or not you like this classroom. All right, and so you've got the choice each and every day to make the best of it or the worst of it. Now, just a small disclaimer. Everybody comes in here thinks we're going straight to the shop. There is going to be days when we got a lot of bookwork. We're going to have to pull it together. You have to act like a man or a woman, get it done. And when time comes to go to the shop, we'll go to the shop, right? But sometimes you just got to suck it up and, get through the hard stuff so that you can get to the stuff that you really want to do, if you will, okay? So the way I look at it is you work first, you get your work done, and then you can go play. I get a lot of students that want to do it the opposite way around. They want to play, and then they procrastinate, and they want to try to fit their work in, and they don't have enough time, and then they kind of, put in a half effort, if you will, all right?